Alright, what's up? So, today I'm going to go over the differences between the PS2 era of Tiger Woods PGA Tour EA games versus this generation of PGA 2K games, and why I think the older versions of golf games were drastically better than this generation. And I think this generation could easily pull off the things that were three generations ago. And it's hurting their game slightly, I think, in my opinion, because they could easily implement these things. So on the left, we're going to take a look at Tiger Woods PGA Tour 5 on the GameCube, and immediately you are given information on the course, and this is what 05 did really well, and it's really the only game ever to do this, and why I think 05, one of the many reasons I think 05 is like the staple golf game, a sports game, just period, just an amazing game. So you have depending on the wind, the grass, and your environment, your environment will react to the wind. So grass, bushes, trees, they'll all move with the wind, and the flag, it's very good with that, and it looks excellent. The sound, the animals, different animal sounds will vary depending on the environment and the course you're playing. Car horn sounds, it's super immersive in that, and the commentary is just with David Faraday and Gary McCord is just so good. Whereas commentary really hasn't been the same since they've removed them. I mean, every golf game suffers from really poor and drab commentary that serves no purpose. That's the worst part. Whereas David and Gary were super entertaining. So you immediately have information. The conditions vary and are essentially in real time, so you're adapting to the environment and the conditions. So the fairway speed, the green speed, everything changes, and it affects your golf game, it affects how you play the course. The time, 05 did a beautiful job having you being able to play at nighttime. You can play at 1:32 a.m. In the summer at 101 degrees Fahrenheit. You can play any conditions imaginable. Where 2K, you really can't do that. You're given fixed positions or conditions. So speaking of, you're just given the golfer, no animation, really no character. Whereas this is just a simple PGA Tour event. You're given way more than that. You're given this. I mean, you're given, actually, there's many different animations the golfer goes through. You're not going to repeat animations, whether that be swing animations, celebrations, negative celebrations. There's so many of them that you're not going to go through them entire course. You're going to have to play the entire career mode of the PGA Tour, and the other game modes that the PS2 game has to offer, which will take hours. Like, I think it took me a long long time to finish like 100% 05. So okay, so one thing that makes me, this is a nitpick for sure, but as you can see, you can kind of see it. Hold on. So you zoom in, the gameplay really hasn't changed in golf video games. You zoom in and you adjust to the shot you want to hit. That varies game per game. So, oops, I wanted to pause it. Okay, so the tee height is what I want to do. Every Tiger Woods game, every game every 2K game has a fixed tee position. So whether you're hitting a lob wedge 90 yards or a driver 330 yards, you're going to have the same tee height. That's just not the case. When you're playing golf, you're going to have to, if you hit a wedge shot and you tee up the ball this high, you're at least not going to make a divot. This makes a huge divot. You're not going to hit an 8-iron 150 yards, like a good flighted 8-iron like this, with a tee height like that. Whereas this, it's not a fixed position. Whether you're hitting the tee height depends on whether you're hitting what club you're hitting. So you're going to hit a low tee height with a wedge and a high tee height with a driver. Very simple things so far. Like, so far, it's literally PS2 era golf, but it's things that are done right make a difference. Like, the sky, like it just looks better and it feels better. Another thing, 2K has a weird, especially on, it's super noticeable on console since it's not native 60 FPS. I don't think 2K on console. Um, where when you get to the top swing, it jabs and it lags and it has this weird like it's like there's two positions, right? I don't know the right terms for it, but there's just weird lag where for a couple of frames it changes position when you're on the top. It's not that noticeable when you're playing on PC. I think this is PC. This might be PC gameplay on the right, but the swing isn't one-to-one, whereas Tiger Woods has always been one-to-one. So no matter where your analog is, that's where your swing is, and that's where you're going to swing down from, and it looks very good. Where on 2K it doesn't do that. And on the Wii, the motion controls, I mean, there hasn't really been a good motion control game, a golf game for this generation that I know of. Tiger Woods on the PS Move was really good. Connect kind of, I mean, Connect was definitely a novelty, but it definitely worked. And on the Wii was very good. So just a simple one-to-one though that the GameCube and PS2 and Xbox, it did very well, and you can see the grass looks good. The, there's literal like I love this game. So on the course creator, you can create different colored grass. You can change. There's so many customizable elements that were implemented in the game. So every course had these customizable elements, like the trees, the leaves changing with the season. You don't get that with 2K in this generation. And even like I bet you these are like small nitpick like talking points, but I bet you Jim Furyk's swing, like the mocap, um, okay, I'll go to the PS3 generation. What they did right, which they did so many things right that this generation isn't doing. Um, you have the reactions from the players and the PGA players. So playing as Tiger Woods, you had the actual voice of Tiger Woods, you had actual reactions, you had the facials, like everything was super realistic and looked very good. I think Tiger Woods 09 ran and Tiger Woods 11, I believe too. Both ran at 1080 native 1080p. As you can see, Tiger sinks his putt and he fist pumps, and it looks so good. And even I'll say this is a very weird thing to point out, but in the Tiger Woods 07 DVD game, you had Jim Furyk's mocap swing, you had Colin Montgomery's mocap swing, you had John Daly's mocap swing, you had Tiger Woods' mocap swing. So even on a DVD game, they had realistic swings and realistic faces on the DVD game. Whereas over here, I bet you it's just the standard swing. And I know Tiger Woods, or not Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy EA, there's so many things they did wrong there, but there's also, I'm not going to, I think definitely 2K's better because there's just more things you can do. But the character animations, the swings, like it's not realistic when you have just one swing for the entire roster of golfers. It's just not fun. Like, why would you have them in there? Because, I mean, I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but it seems like it will. And not to mention, the courses in Tiger Woods 12 on the Wii had like 24 courses automatically. So you were automatically going to get those courses, no DLC, 24 courses, whereas 2K Next Gen, you're given 15. The PS2 era had like upwards, I think, of 18 courses, I think was the most. Like, so they had a lot of courses fit into this one thing, and you can also customize those courses. And I would strongly recommend just picking up 05, and because it's just such a good game. And 06 had a really good intuitive career mode on the PS2, and like I can pick out random things from Tiger Woods games, like where you can pick out where you can tee off from in 2012. That's a great feature, the caddy feature. Not fully realized, but it's still realistic, and it brings some sort of like just